I want to talk about an article in truthdig.com that is also showing an episode of On Contact with Chris Hedges. I've talked about Chris Hedges before on this show and this program he has on RT called On Contact. Chris Hedges and Nicole Goyal discuss how to save the American educational system. And I'll put the link below so you can watch. It's about a 30-minute video, but I want to talk about, first of all, what they say and then how it relates to everything else we've been discussing here on Political Vigilante. They go into how the American school system is really just about memorization. It's about social control. It's about just showing up to be punctual, to just take tests. They go into the average high school student spends 943 hours a year in school, and 110 of those hours are for test preparation. And what it does is it creates just workers, and it eliminates a lot of critical thought. And in the last 30 some years, a lot of schools have cut back arts programs and sports programs and anything like that. Like, arts programs are to learn creative and critical thinking. Even if you're not going to be a professional artist of some kind, it teaches you how to think in the abstract manner versus just here's a bunch of dates you need to memorize, or here's just some, the periodic table, or just these. It's just memory, and we're not coming up with critical thinking. Why is this relative to everything else we've been talking on this show? Do you think we would have politicians like Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton? Do you think we would have, less than 60% voter turnout? And I'm not, as I've talked about, the voting system, the election system, the political system is completely broken, and it's designed to keep people away. But no one's even arguing. No one's even waking up. Do you think we would have everybody just, as I talked about, fall in line with what happened in Syria and just say, well, Trump had to, like no one's questioning anything because they're not taught to question anything. We're not taught to search for different answers in America. We're taught to just memorize stuff and be good little workers and good little consumers, and then watch the state news. It's state general. It's so funny when CNN and everybody's like, oh, Russian state TV or Syrian state TV. Yeah, it's state-controlled news, but so is ours. Ours is just the corporate state. I mean, I've been to China and watched their news, and they're pushing their Chinese agenda. We're pushing our global corporate war machine agenda. And when you don't have a good education system, you don't have anybody learning. You don't have anybody asking questions. And then the handful of people that do, they're shouted down as unpatriotic anytime you question the war machine. They realized this. They saw it, the reaction to the Vietnam War in the 60s and 70s, when all these people were like, I'm 18 and I'm going to get drafted and I might have to go fight in some war I don't believe in halfway across the planet. No way. And everyone protested en masse, and they went, we can never let this happen again. We need to keep the kids, the youth, the college kids in line. So we're going to teach them how to just make money, how to spend it, and not critically think, and do not question authority, do not question the government. And we'll give you rebellion, but it'll be in the rebellion of just like MTV rebellion. Like, listen to crazy music, and I'm going to have a pink hair and a mohawk. I'm rebelling. No, they don't want you rebelling against their corporate state doctrine. They don't want that at all. And that's what this video goes in. And Chris Hedges references a documentary from 1968 showing this regimentation and teaching kids how to just be punctual and fear authority, and you're going to be in trouble, and that's all it is. And, standardized testing and all that was pushed through by Bush and Ted Kennedy. And charter schools and all this crap that's just designed to keep the working class uninformed and don't think and don't ask a lot of questions. As I've said, and when there's no real, as Chris Hedges has talked about in his book, Death of the Liberal Class, he says when there's no liberal class to resist the right-wing power and the corporate structure, this is what you get. We've got a bullshit school system, we've got a bullshit legal system, a bullshit political system, and bullshit media. You know? And no one's allowed to think or ask questions or do anything. They're not teaching critical thought. Why aren't Chris Hedges and Noam Chomsky, why aren't they repeatedly on MSNBC or CNN or something Fox? Why aren't they on there? Why do I have to go to a link at truthdig.com for his Russian TV show, his RT show? Because they don't want me. They don't want people questioning this. They don't want anybody knowing about this at all. Well, I got 6 nieces and nephews, and they're all starting to graduate high school and get into college, and I'm going to buy them. And they've got some birthdays coming up, and they're all getting a copy of The Death of the Liberal Class. That's what I want them to do. And I appreciate you guys coming to this show because you obviously are fed up with the bullshit corporate media. And I appreciate your comments below. And sometimes I don't agree with everything in the comments below. I'm not talking about the trolls that are just like, round up all the illegals. Or, that's bullshit. But part of the reason I'm doing this show is I'm learning a lot and I want to hear from you. So I love when you guys, we might not always agree. I'm not asking you to just agree with everything I'm saying like I'm some soothsayer. I'm just saying I'm not an oracle. I'm a guy that's trying to get at the truth and the answers, and maybe given the same data we might come to different conclusions, but I'm going to come to my conclusions honestly, and I've changed my mind on some subjects based on stuff you guys have said to me or whatever. And those of you at the Patreon level that doing the $5 a month, you're sending me a specific article to talk about, and you're opening me up to things, and I want to share it with people. So I want you to watch this video. I want you to know more about Chris Hedges, and I want you to tell your friends and family that haven't woken up yet. Because I was part of that. I hadn't woken up. I was part of that. So don't be too hard on them if they haven't woken up yet. Just encourage them to wake up. It took me some time. Maybe it took you some time. Encourage them over time. If they're like, I don't know, I don't get them. Okay, don't get into a big fight. Don't shut them out. But just try to get them to turn the corner a little bit. Because the more people that turn the corner and wake up, the more we can actually have a revolution. And I'm not talking about necessarily a bloody revolution. I'm talking about a cultural one where everybody gets engaged and votes out people and really pays attention and starts paying attention and voting with their dollars, and not just like, more people vote for American Idol than they do for the president. Like, that's by design. That's what this talks about. That is by design. That's not a mistake. They want us to pay more attention to American Idol. They want us to be talking on and on about Aaron Rodgers and Olivia Munn broke up or whatever the new dumb thing is. They want us talking about that. They don't want us going, oh man, you programmed me to be stupid and uninformed. They don't want us going, you're the problem. Giant corporations, deep state, you're the problem. They don't want us asking those questions. So I'm glad you guys watched this show. Like it, subscribe it, donate to the Patreon so I can do more and more of this stuff and we can get more people to wake up. Thanks for watching.